Hello, everybody. Annette is going to show us what we're going to be doing in class today.
Okay, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I sent an email to everyone this morning, Wednesday morning, to say if you can get a piece of tracing paper and get a pencil and a black Sharpie marker if you've got one, or any fine point Sharpie marker. And this is an exercise that we will just try for the fun of it. We're not trying to make something to be sent off to the Louvre or to win any kind of prize. It's just to increase our experimentation and thinking and have a good time playing. Okie dokie. So first, if you take a piece of tracing paper and a pencil, you can make a line across the paper. Okay?
Yep.
At that point, no pun intended, I would take a black Sharpie marker and I would go over the pencil line to where it's easier to see. Then you can take any of your former artwork. I suggested that maybe some of you might want to use your homework for this past week because some of it was really wonderful. Or you can look through old sketchbooks and pick out something. And if you are working with cloth, you could put your cloth work down and take your tracing paper and find a place on the drawing, painting, former artwork, cloth, and at that point, you can, if you can see through it, you can trace off just the outlines of the cloth or whatever your former artwork was, just only down to that line that you made earlier. So that it wouldn't take forever, what I've done is I had started with this. I've always enjoyed this particular drawing in my sketchbook. So to save time, I had put the paper that had the line on it on top of this drawing. And I had traced the drawing down to that line. At that point, I thought you could turn your tracing paper in whatever direction you wanted until you kind of came up with an idea that you liked. When you find the direction that you want to move the paper to, you can, I'm just going to settle on one, then retrace the drawing again. So I can draw it all, but I want to give you the idea of that you then trace down to that line, and you might have part of your drawing gone. Some of it might be lost. Anyway, what this exercise does is show you that repetition of any kind creates harmonious composition, so that if we repeat any part of the drawing or the painting or the quilt or the artwork. When we're finished, it will be harmonious. I'm just going to draw the top so that you can see how, if given the time, I would do all of the outlines again, but from another angle. And since last week, we didn't really have long enough time to put the designs in, and Susan and I thought it would be a good idea if we had one exercise. I figured we could work on this one project today, and even if you need to finish it for homework, whatever would make you happy, or if you want to practice with this one and then try something else, no problem. So once you get everything traced, you can pretend that I've got all this traced again up here. Once you've got all that traced, then you can take a piece of transfer paper that in the past we've used a piece of tracing paper and we've scratched all over the back with pencil. And you can take this sheet, put it down on whatever surface you want, in cloth, or you could see how this could be used not easily for cloth. It would have to be simpler, like the one I did first. But basically, if you are doing a drawing or a painting, you could place it down onto the paper and take something, and when you go over it real hard with a pencil or a ballpoint pen, it'll come out on that white paper, and then you could either paint it, draw it. If you wanted to take your design or your drawing or your composition and make it in paper, you could cut through with an X-Acto knife and then glue those shapes down. Or if you're working in cloth like Susan Ackley, you could pin it to the cloth and then cut with scissors around the shapes. And if you've got any questions, I hope you would feel free to ask Susan or me, because we would like to do everything that makes it run smoothly for you and be very low stress.